Hello, everybody. Um, Today I'm going to be talking about how to be happy. Now, this is not a one size fits all kind of advice, but it's a few things that I did or a few things that helped me during my self healing journey. And it's not a journey that I have already found all the answers to, but it's an ongoing journey and it will always be an ongoing journey. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, like the last video, I'm going to be referring to my notes just because I feel or I felt that in the previous video, it helped me bring out all the points and I'm just more comfortable in that way. So, to begin with, the first point is when you stop relying on your environment to make you happy. Now, we all fall into this pattern where we always think or rely on circumstances to make us feel happy. For example, for me, growing up was, oh, when I lose the weight, I'll be happy. Or when I get into this university after graduating from high school, it will make me happy. Or if I get this job, it will make me happy. And I was always relying on the environment or my circumstances to make me feel happy. And what happened is that because I was relying on the circumstances, when things didn't pan out the way that I wanted it to pan out, um, it would really disappoint me and it would really make me feel that I do not deserve that happiness when in fact it is actually absolutely the wrong approach to see happiness. You see, happiness comes from literally your within. The fact that I was even choosing to study or go to the university or apply for this job, um, the fact that I was doing this and choosing to do this is something that was actually supposed to make me happy, and I missed out on those moments. And it's not really reliable to rely on the circumstance to make you happy, because like I said, if the circumstance does not pan out, then you're just missing out the whole point. The whole point was for you to enjoy the journey, for you to learn through the journey. Even if you failed or even if you didn't fail, let's say you did make it through, you still had to wait until you got that circumstance to your favor, until you realized that you wanted to be happy. Does that make sense? So, what I mean is that you had to wait that long to deserve that reward when in fact you already deserve the happiness. You don't need to wait for anyone or anything or any circumstance. You deserve it regardless. Now, point number two, when you stop relying on an event to make you happy. So this goes hand in hand with point number one when you're relying on your circumstance. However, um, in life, there are certain instances or there are certain situations where you find yourself waiting for that event to occur. So, for example, you buying your dream car, or you buying your dream apartment, or you buying the luxury goods that you've always wanted to buy, or you getting married, or you're having your first child or your second child. You're relying on that event to occur for you to be happy, when in fact working towards that event is something that you should be focusing on. So, for example, when it comes to your dream car or your dream apartment or moving to a different city, you've been waiting to do it for so long, but you've prepared. You are preparing yourself while doing it. You're, bettering yourself. You are learning so many things, and you can extract out so much happiness out of that journey that you're taking to get to where you want to be, that dream house, that dream apartment, the dream marriage, or the child that you're anticipating. The journey towards giving birth is something that is so beautiful. So you need to enjoy the process of you getting to that event, because eventually when you do get into the event, sometimes the event can make you feel so overwhelmed, you're not able to be as happy as you anticipated, and then the expectations fall out. So you need to seize the moment. This is so cliche, but you need to seize the process. You need to seize the fact that you are taking out time in your life to do this. You're taking out energy. You're taking out your um, everything that you are dreaming to have. You're doing it to get to that event. So you've got to know how to enjoy that process. You've got to realize and really sit down with yourself and say, I'm really proud of you for doing this. This is such a great job. Because when you do that, when you stop and you really say, like, I'm really proud of you for doing it, you will start feeling that internal happiness from here. Because you will feel like, oh, I actually am really proud of myself for doing it. And you start feeling that internal happiness already. You don't need to wait for an event to happen. And when the event does occur, it adds to your already existing happiness. How great is that? So, yeah, point number 3 is when you stop relying on others for your happiness. This is so cliche, but relying on other people to make you happy is only going to make you codependent on the other person to give you that happiness. um, Giving somebody else the burden of making you happy is not fair, because you are responsible for your own happiness. We are born alone, we die alone. So in the midst of that, there has got to be a point where you have to understand that you create your own happiness, you take your own happiness, and you receive your own happiness. And that comes by understanding yourself, by understanding the fact that there will be people in your life, but they will add to your already existing happiness that you give to yourself. So, for example, for me, I always relied on other people to give me that happiness because I did not want to be alone, or I did not want to feel lonely. But it was only when I was forced into a situation where I was absolutely alone for a long period of time. And that was when, even though it was hard, I discovered the things that actually make me happy. For example, going to the beach, going to my Pilates class, going to the gym, or listening to a good podcast, or watching TV while it rains outside, or watching TV after dinner, after a long day work, or driving to a nice nature scenario that I have always been wanting to drive to. You know, small things, or even reading the book. So the small things that I did for myself was when I realized, like, oh, these are the small things that are making me happy. There was one day that I thought, I'm going to take a self-care day. I'm going to get my nails done. I'm going to get my hair cut. So it depends from person to person. And so when I started realizing that, oh, I can create my own happiness. I don't need to rely on somebody else to constantly give me their energy to make me happy. I started becoming so self-independent. And so now, if somebody is there and is providing happiness, it's already adding to my already existing happiness that I give to myself. It's not something that I am taking from somebody because I lack that happiness. No, I already have it because I give it to myself. Next, the fourth point, when you start appreciating what you have. Now, this is something that I have already spoken about in a video before called How to Appreciate Yourself. But when you appreciate the small things, like, for example, your resources that you have to do what you're doing, or air, water, sunlight, rainfall, the weather, or just good people in general, or buildings, to give you shelter, birds and flowers. You are experiencing what it feels like to be human. You know, human being a human is such an incredible opportunity to live life the way we live life. Nobody else can live that life regardless of your circumstance. um, you've been given this opportunity to live life, to have these experiences, good, bad, sad. So why would you waste time on not appreciating what you have? And even if you feel like the world is against you, if you feel like nothing is working out for you, you're still living. You're still experiencing what you're experiencing. Imagine you would not able to experience, and you would just a floating dust particle in space watching humans, and you really badly want to be human, but you cannot. So imagine that scenario, and imagine the scenario you have this opportunity to live your life. How beautiful is that? Happiness comes from realizing and appreciating the fact that the opportunities that you have, the resources that you have, and the life that you have is your one and only chance to experience being human. You don't know what's going to happen, when you're going to die, when is anything going to happen. This is your one chance. Grab your opportunity. Realize that this is your one time to really enjoy life, be it good, be it bad, be it whatever instance you're in. You're still being human. That's beautiful to really go through. Um, Point number 5, when you take time out for yourself to learn about yourself. Um, this is something that I did not do in the past. I'm calling myself out. I Because I always relied on others to give me happiness, I never took out time to really understand who I am as a person, the kind of person that I am when I am by myself. I did not really realize it only until recently. And when I started my self healing journey and my meditating journey, is when I slowly started realizing things about myself that I would have never discovered if I was constantly giving my energy to other people like I was doing before. And it slowly started from when I took time out during the weekends because I was working full time. And I took time out in the weekends to really see how can I plan my day? What can I do that makes me happy? Or what is it that I don't know about myself that I need to start working on. And through journaling, through hearing a lot of self healing podcasts, reading a lot of self help books. There are so many instances where I found myself relating to so many people's content or books or movies, and I started realizing so many things about myself that I would have never discovered before. And I really appreciate what I discover, good, bad, whatever. I really appreciate it because that's what makes me me. And if it is bad and I don't agree with something, about myself, I take time out to understand where I'm coming from and then try to find ways on how I can change it. And doing this process really makes me feel happy because I am doing it for myself. I'm becoming better for myself. I'm becoming better for me. How incredible is that? And because I'm becoming better for me, it's creating a ripple effect in my environment. I'm becoming a better person. Becoming a better friend, a better mentor, or just a better person in general. That creates a ripple effect in society. And it just makes me really understand and appreciate myself because I'm doing the things that I want to do to become the person that I want to become. And how beautiful is that feeling? And so once I started taking time out for myself, I started realizing that I have the capability to really spend time with myself and not be bored. And even if I was bored, so what? I can find ways out to make me happy. And so doing this, it gave me that self-reliance feeling, the self-independence feeling. Self-reliance and self-independence goes hand in hand. But it gave me that trust to really rely on myself. And when I rely on myself, it makes me feel very happy. It makes me feel like I am a strong, independent person. And it just gives me that happiness. And so for me, I believe that when you take the time out to really understand the person that you are, and work on yourself, try to become better, um, it really starts making you feel happy internally because you're doing it for you. And how beautiful is that? And so I would recommend always trying to take time out for yourself to really understand the person that you are. Point number 6, when you show up for yourself. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand, but when you decide to change or when you decide to do things for yourself, sometimes it can lead into procrastination because you're chasing perfection, or sometimes it can lead to you thinking that, oh, there's just too many steps involved for you to get better. But only when you go through those steps and you get to the other side is when you feel that you've accomplished something, right? And that feeling, nobody can take away from you because you've done it by yourself. An example of that is because I've always wanted to lose weight all my life. It was only until I realized, there are a few steps that I need to take in order for me to achieve the dream body that I've always wanted to achieve. Um, but it required a lot of effort from me. It required a lot of um, uh, um, time management planning, a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifice. Um, and when I pushed through, even on those hard days, it meant that I was showing up for myself to become that version of myself that I've always dreamed of being. And because I did that, because I showed up for myself all the time, even in the days that I did not want to go and, exercise or eat, protein rich foods on some days, although I 100% believe in eating protein rich food. But there are some days that I just wanted to just skimp out and just not perform anything. And while some day taking a break is always fine, but then taking a break on month's end, that's not okay. So I had to really show up for myself and be reliable to myself that no, this is a promise that I've made for myself, so I'm going to stick to it. And that's what I did when I showed up for myself. And when I did get to the other side, I was able to look back and say, oh my God, I did it by myself. And that just made me so much more happier because not only not only did I get the results that I've been wanting to get, but I was able to see that I'm taking that step for myself to be that version of myself. That means I'm very reliable. I can show up for myself if need be. And this means that I can show up for someone else also. If I can show up for myself, I can show up for someone else if they need me. I'm reliable. So showing up for yourself makes you already feel happy to yourself that no, I'm a dependent. I am someone who can be dependable, if that makes sense. So people can depend on me, people can rely on me. I always show up what I promise for, and that already makes you feel happy. So yeah, showing up for yourself is also one step to make you a tad bit happier. Um, Number 7, when you learn to appreciate the small things that you do. This is something that I've been saying for literally the whole of the video, is when you appreciate the small things that you do for yourself, for society, for your friend, for your pet, for anything. You are doing it out of the goodness of your heart. You're doing it for you. You're doing um, literally you're trying to become a better person, or you're trying to be the version of yourself that you've always dreamed of being. So appreciating those small things that you do internally makes you feel that small spark of happiness that you feel that you are actually lacking. Because often in life we might always just think about how life is not working out for us, or life is not giving you so many challenges and it's just making you more stressed, and things are going haywire, or just things are not working out to how you dream for it to be. However, you are forgetting that you are living, breathing, surviving, being a human. You are literally experiencing what it feels like to be human. Bad experiences are part of life. Sometimes stress is part of life. Sometimes all the good things are part of your life. Not necessarily every good thing always has to constantly happen. You probably have to go through that challenge for you to get to the good thing, because you probably need to learn something from that challenge. And so appreciating those small moments, appreciating you being human, appreciating the things that you have that allows you to be human, allows you to function, allows you to really understand, the kind of person that you are. How beautiful is that? And every time at the end of each day, whenever I close my eyes, I always think how grateful I am to have what I have, to live the life that I live, regardless if it being good, bad. I don't care. I'm still somebody who's living, breathing, and I'm so proud of myself for really going through all of my experiences and keeping my head held high, and even trying to learn through those challenges or those opportunities. How beautiful it is to be human, because we only get this one time. I don't know if I'm going to be born again after I die, but I I'm so grateful to live this life for the resources that I have and for everything that allows me to be me. I'm so grateful. Even talking about it makes me feel that inner joy. I'm so grateful for what I have, and I hope that you take out the time to be super grateful about what you have, because you deserve it. Everybody deserves happiness. I don't care what circumstance you're in. I don't care who you say you are, or you're a negative person, or whatever. Everybody has a chance to be happy. Everybody has that birthright to be happy. You just have to find out ways on how to make yourself happy, on how to be human and really live and love your life. I hope nothing but happiness to everybody, because there's already so much negativity out there, and I just want to spread positivity, and it all starts with us being positive, with us trying to find ways to be happy, with us striving to become better people, always wanting to learn, wanting to grow and become better for each other, for ourselves and for each other. So yeah, thank you for everything. Thank you for all the opportunities that I have. Thank you for allowing me to live my life. Thank you for the resources. Thank you for allowing me to share my ideas and this platform that I'm able to share my ideas. It's kind of a um, short and brief kind of advice, but I really hope that this is something that you can relate to. And yeah, if anything else, just know that you deserve happiness. And I hope you always know that it is in your birthright to be happy. So yeah, thank you for listening to me. Have a good day, weekend, weekday, whatever. Yeah, I wish you nothing but the best. Bye bye.